Hey guys, I'm DJ Legion from AudioWaves Academy, and today I wanted to talk about EQing. There are a lot of people that don't know the basics of EQing, so I thought maybe I should make a video just giving my tips how I would approach EQing for a beginner. For this purpose, I'm going to use the Pro Q3, and the first tip that I got for you, start with subtractive EQing. So what does it mean? I have seen a lot of people like boosting so much, and this is wrong in my opinion because it might happen that you are boosting the wrong frequencies. Always start by cutting frequencies. Well, if I were you, I would just go and find some frequencies that are not really good in my opinion. Let's say for example this one here, and I would just go and tame it a little bit. My second tip for you is using equalizers that have spectral analyzer. Let's take this EQ for example. This is the AMEK EQ200, and I really love this plugin. It's one of my favorite plugins to say the truth, but I would never recommend this plugin to someone that is a beginner. It has a lot of different settings, and if you don't know what you are doing, you might lose a lot of time doing the wrong things. Just stick with the Pro Q3 or something similar. Also the EQ from the Logic Pro has a spectral analyzer. My third tip for you is to use the sweep technique that I already showed you. You can use this to find these harsh resonant frequencies. Let's go and do this technique here. For example, here right now on 555 Hertz, I can hear these harsh frequencies that I already mentioned. So what you go here, you find these frequencies and just pull it down and make the Q a little bit narrow. My fourth tip for you is when you are cutting, always try and use like really tight and really narrow Qs. You want to do this because the tight Q helps remove surgically unpleasant resonances and it is not affecting the whole tone. Now my next tip for you is when you are boosting some frequencies on your equalizer, try and open the Q a little bit so that it has a more pleasant sound. Let's go and test this one here. My next tip for you is using a low cut in some instruments that you don't need these low frequencies. If you're using the Pro Q3, for example here, right now, we are seeing that below 100 Hertz, somewhere there, doesn't happen anything, but sometimes it can happen. So what you can go and do is just do a low cut, and this is my kind of way of doing it. I go and use this low cut on 48 dB per octaves, and you can go also and use this one like on 18 or 24, but I like it to take out all these frequencies below, for example 80 or 100 Hertz. Because I want to have so much more space here for my bass. And really important, if you're doing this on your instruments, you should go here and choose the linear phase so that you are not introducing any phasing issue. Now my next tip for you is when you want to have a bit more air on your instruments, just go and boost above 10k, somewhere between 10k and 15k. Let's go and test this technique, for example here on our hi-hats. now, for example, I just boosted like 2 dBs, but you can hear that the hi-hats are coming a bit more. So the next tip is EQing in context. So what I mean with this, I have seen a lot of people that when they are EQing some instruments, that they are the whole time in solo. This is not a good idea to do this, because you might think that it might work like really great right now, but if you put everything all together, you might have taken out some frequencies that you didn't want, or you might have boosted some other frequencies that you shouldn't. My next tip for you is, if you have an equalizer that has a dynamic EQ, go and use it right away. I will just try and explain as easy as possible. Dynamic EQ is a combination of EQing and compressing. So what does it do? It starts to EQ these frequencies that we are going to tell him when the threshold that we have set is being triggered. So let's go and give you this example right now. For example, here. Let's say I found this one and I want to do the dynamic EQ. In this case, if I don't use a dynamic equalizer, here these frequencies are going to be tamed the whole time when this sample is being played. So to avoid this, you can go and use the make dynamic here, for example, and then you see that this thing is being changed. You see this red thing. If I go here and put more down, I'm saying that I want this to work from here. Put this one on 0. And now it works only when these frequencies are being triggered. Let's go and use this one, this example here, that it's a little bit more obvious. This tip is a bit more advanced, to say the truth, and in case you don't know what a dynamic EQ is, just go and watch some tutorials from YouTube. It will make it a bit more clear. Now, guys, the final tip, and the most important tip in my opinion. Do not overdo it. I have seen a lot of people going and posting there, finding so many other frequencies that they don't like. Well, guys, for example, this graphic right here, right now, is so shitty, seriously, and it's not the correct way how you go and EQ. If you have to do like something like this, then this means that your source that you recorded or your sample that you used was not the correct sample. If you want to go and learn some other techniques how to polish your tracks, watch this video.